merchandise that is infused with freedom. For this Father's Day, we've come up with some new designs. Introducing our version 2 pistons, rods, and dad bods shirt. This time with a bent rod. Look at that, dude.
Piece of piston down there, bent. Pull the cap off this thing.
Tore it up. We even have a Freedom Father shirt, which these turned out super sick. Gray with the green. I freaking love it. And lastly, we have cams, gears, and cold beers. Check that out. You got the cam on the front, dude.
Oh, dang.
Just another version for the, you know, there's some dads out there who definitely love some beers. And honestly, guys, these shirts, you don't have to be a dad to get them. But listen, our merch comes with so much freedom. We even put a little bit of burnout smoke in every box. Hit it, Coop. Let's get some burnout smoke. Alright guys, all the shirts available at CleetusMcFarland.com. Grab them after the video.
This one even comes with rubber.
A little bit of rubber?
Yeah, this one comes with rubber.
Oh, brother. Hey, not to mention, we restocked our Freedom Factory hats. We got the gray version, or over here, the black version. Nice burnout.
Nothing like a fresh set of tires.
Look at the box.
Looks like you're breaking in there.
Perfect merch ad burnout.
Look at those marks.
Dude, we're constantly buying Cooper tires because he has to do this for every t-shirt. It's outrageous.
Takes a lot.
Hell yeah, brother. You're on the Cleetus McFarland YouTube channel. Month of Freedom.
All right, folks, let's talk about our girl Ruby. And you know what? Just let it rip in the comments because I know I'm going to take some heat for this one. There's no getting around this one, boys. So first of all, I want to go ahead and state that this is in no way, shape, or form our boys at Texas Speed's fault. If you guys remember the day we were at the track and your boy Cleater melted some spark plug straps, well, I thought we were in the clear because right after that we went an 8-1 at what, 165 or something?
Yeah, 167.
I thought we were good. I was like, you know what? I got away with it this time. Melted some plugs and didn't cause internal damage to the engine. I was like, hell yeah, we're good. And the reason we haven't said anything for so long is because I wanted the engine to get back to Texas Speed and the diagnosis to be made to, you know, just take away any doubt. So I've got photos here, I've got everything, and I definitely got spicy with the timing, and I know I joked around about it in the video, but I screwed up for sure. I caused some damage, and that damage is in the form of a melted piston. So if you look at these photos, you can see the edges of the piston took the brunt of the hot timing. So, you know, when you've got a lot of timing and your cylinder pressure goes through the roof, something's eventually got to give, and we ended up giving away on our pistons, which is a pretty common thing. It's actually really funny. If you look at these text messages, I was sending Kevin data logs and he was like, your timing is really spicy. Your timing is really spicy. And I was like, yeah, but it's running so good. And when I sent him another text about the spark plugs being burnt off, he goes, you need to check your pistons. Well, we thought that after it ran that other good pass, the other 8-1, I was like, oh, it's fine. It went another 8-1. You know, I would have thought it would have had a significant decrease in power with a melted piston. But we started it up the next day and we could just tell there was something wrong right off the rip.
She wasn't happy.
She was not happy. When an engine is nice and hot and everything, it can still sound okay. So when we put it in the trailer, we're like, oh, you know, like it's good. Sounds hot. Cold start next day, no good. You can hear it in this video. Bottom end related for sure. Immediately yanked the engine out. It actually went out in the crate. The C7's engine came in, so we pulled the C7's engine out of that crate, put Ruby's engine right in it and sent it to Texas Speed because it's better for them to just take it apart, diagnose it themselves, and the results ended up being melted pistons, like I said. Luckily, our boys at Texas Speed support us through no matter what. This is totally a result of me just running away from myself. I was like, you know what? Let's try and run less boost. I'm gonna get after it with the timing. I thought I had the tune, aligned just right. I definitely did not.
I think it's because you had those 2 Red Bulls that morning. You were feeling froggy.
I was feeling froggy. It's like it ran so good. I was like, oh, let me throw 1.5 degrees or 2 degrees at it, and I screwed up. So
you got away from you.
Got away from me, and it's like, as much as I want to be just bummed about it, luckily Texas Speed is so cool. I've probably sent them 100 thank yous in the last chain of text messages, just because those guys are so supportive of us. Inevitably, when we push these engines super hard, this one, just saying it, should have lasted much longer. This thing probably could have made 500 passes before it had to go back, but because I screwed up, it had to go back. But they fixed it, and it's on its way back. So that brings us to the next point, which is going to be Rocky Mountain Race Week. Luckily, they had the pistons on the shelf. Everything is good there, but now we got to talk about Rocky Mountain Race Week because the cars have to leave on the 17th of June, which is like right around the corner. That is right around the corner. So the next couple of weeks are going to be solely devoted to our girl Ruby and to our boy Leroy, because we got to get these things ready to go on a 1,300-mile drive through Colorado in weather, different track surfaces, and I'd say we have some work to do.
That time of year again.
Yeah, it absolutely is. In the next couple of weeks, both Ruby and Leroy will be going to Kevin's shop to have a complete bass tune put on them. I do want to take a little bit of credit that the tune on Ruby was completely handcrafted by McFarland Tuning, and it did last a while, but it has come to the point where it actually did break an engine. So, not to mention the head gaskets on the last engine. So, both Ruby and Leroy before race week are going to Kevin at KSR Performance Guy. You guys saw with the Dale Truck videos. He is going to completely remap the tunes on both cars just because he's a Holley specialist, and you guys saw how good the Dale Truck ran. So he's going to top to bottom both of these cars and make sure they're just in a very safe state, and from there we'll be operating the boost controllers and things like that. But he's going to hopefully set up the tunes so that both cars run really well, and no matter what air they're in, because we're going to be in huge elevation changes, different track types, things like that. And I think we'll just have a really good basis from that point, and then hopefully McFarland Tuning can just do the tweaking from there and not tear anything up.
Put a lock on the timing table.
Yeah, he might want to put a password on the timing table. So other than that, things we got to do on Ruby, they sent us a revised version so that hopefully we don't have that axle pop out issue. So we're going to put the revised set of axles in Ruby and then use those other ones as just a set of spares for race week. And then as far as Leroy goes, we got parts for the transmission. We have the backup transmission, which we're going to stick in now just to get it up to Kevin's shop and get some of the stuff on him knocked out, like wheel speed sensors that we've been wanting to add. We got to put the bigger radiator back on for the street driving.
Yeah, we got to put it's in race mode right now, so it's got that, you guys seen it, that 16-volt battery, the small radiator, the electric pump.
Yep, so we got the small radiator, the no alternator setup.
So ideally what I'm going to try to do is just keep the electric water pump because it's more efficient. Put the stock radiator back in so we have water volume for the street.
Yep.
And then mount an alternator somehow, some way to be able to go back to a basic, 12-volt battery.
Without having the water pump and tensioner that we had before. Okay. So we've got our big radiator and everything still, and that stuff's pretty easy. That stuff all bolts right back in.
The way I did it when I put this small radiator on is I kept everything to where we can swap back and forth, knowing that race week and drag weeks in the future.
Yep.
So this way it's unbolt this and bolt that back on, no problem.
Yep. And then we'll have our spare transmission back in, and then we will be repairing the transmission that's sitting over there, which I don't think I've actually showed them some of the damage here. So you can see we tore up our counter gear, and then we tore up this gear right here, which I believe is third. Not second.
Second,
first, second, third, fourth.
Oh, okay, yeah. It might have happened when you were going into.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how or why that gear went out. We've never had a gear just go out randomly, but we hit up the guys at G-Force. They were like, hell yeah, we'll send you some new stuff. And pretty much every time we get a new transmission part from them, they have a little bit of a revision in that amount of time that we go through these parts. So the guys from G-Force have parts on the way. We'll slap this thing back together, but for now, the one that's sitting over in the corner right here is the one that James and I repaired forever ago from when we broke it on race week, is ready to go. So we're gonna stick that in. The diff was totally fine from the looks of it.
Yeah, diff is fine.
The diff is good. That's sitting right here.
The back was good. It was just this gear.
Yep.
And you know, see what really happened is you weren't catching Ruby, so you needed a reason why. Took the L.
I just did a clutch kick and broke the gear.
Yeah, boom. Oh yeah.
A couple of things we need to think about is Leroy's got a slipper clutch in him, which means that towing a trailer might be tough. But I talked to the guys at Black Magic Clutches. They said, yeah, we're good. Only thing is, that means we're gonna have to be changing weights every time we get to the track and back, unless we run just a pretty heavy weight setup at the track. And depending on the field we're running in, we might be able to run with a heavier clutch setup and just kind of soft launch the car and then lay the power down track.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, it's solid competition in the stick shift class, but it's not as fast as what Leroy's capable of doing.
Yep.
So we have the you know, crutch of being able to turn the car down and still being a front runner in that class. So if the car likes that heavy weight deal and leaving soft and will still go, you know, 830s, 820s, there's no reason why not to just do that.
Yeah.
Because it's one less thing you got to worry about doing, you know.
Every time we get there.
The weights on these, I mean, it's made to be changed, but like once you set it and then it's hot and then you're under the car trying to change the weights while it's hot, you could potentially break an arm, and then next thing you know, you're having to do a clutch on the ground at a racetrack.
100%.
So if we can do that, you know, set it and forget it kind of thing, it'd be more ideal.
I agree. So, and the thing we're talking about, guys, is the weights on the clutch and Leroy depict how hard or loose the slip is in the clutch when I launch. But if we have it real soft and we're trying to tow weight, the clutch is just going to be slipping going down the road, and we don't want that to be a thing. So, but we also, Brent and I don't want to be changing the clutch weights when we get to the track and then every time we leave the track. That would be a huge pain. So we're gonna try and figure that out as we go on race week. But what we're gonna do is get the car back together, take it to Kevin, have it tuned up, get everything right, and then we're gonna hook a trailer up to it, and I'm gonna take it on a test drive because I live down by the Freedom Factory. So I'll just drive it home one day with the trailer, see how it drives, and depending on how that goes, we're gonna have to make some adjustments. And then as far as Ruby goes, the plan is we're just going to somehow mount her wheels to the back hatch.
Yeah, I mean, we last year on race week, you know, none of this besides this dipstick back here changed. And last year on race week, I was able to fit every tool I needed to swap this car over on top of my luggage and my passenger's luggage, no problem. Full race suit, tools, everything. The only thing we didn't have in it was the wheels and tires because, you know, we had the trailer.
Yeah, we thought we could just do that, but that's not the way.
We might be able to do something to where we lay something across and just, you know, strap this down with the tires underneath. You know,
I think that's how we should do it.
Maybe a roof rack or something of the sort. You know, we never really hit bad weather but one time. You know, if the weather's going to be good, we can always do something where we take the targa off, put the targa down as a floor, and then make a roof rack that the two tires are above you as your shade.
And then you'll get some more ventilation. You know?
Yeah, and then on top of that, the car will stay cooler on the inside.
So yeah, I think we're gonna be good, and we've got that tighter converter, so hopefully Ruby can cruise a little faster, and we have a better transmission core now.
We've upgraded the trans cooler since last year, and the trans temps even at the track has stayed cooler, so we know it's working better. So curious to see how it does on the street with that too.
100%. So and then Ruby's competing in the 8.5 class, and
same class as last year.
She should be right on that mark. Like James should be able to run at 850 with a 2 or 3 if we can really dial on the car every pass, and we are hoping that we can go to race week and bring home a win in Ruby's class and a win in Leroy's class. I mean, which is a dream, but like it's a reach because of just reliability over that many miles and stuff. But we think, you know, we're gonna give it a shot.
We weren't far off with Ruby coming into the last day last year. We were third
before we got our penalty. We were
about to take over second, and the next thing you know, we got the penalty and had to run on street tires, not just deep on.
What do you know?
You know.
So. And then lastly on our race week discussion is Cooper and his vehicle, which I don't know if I should tell him yet because
Make them guess.
Yeah, I would probably just leave it as a...
yeah, I think you guys should guess. Well, it can change too because obviously you guys know we talked about taking the C8, right? So we wanted to have our C8, which we ordered so long ago, come in time. But obviously with all the things going on and the plants being shut down, that's been delayed. Well, we're hoping, I mean, there's a small chance the C8 comes in time, but go ahead and leave a comment guessing below. It's not any of our personal cars. We don't own the car, but we're gonna borrow it from a really good friend of ours, and it's a super cool ride, and it'd actually be a perfect race week car. So it'd honestly be better than the C8, I think. So, but that'll be what Cooper is driving. And other than that, dude, that's our race week plan. So guys, I didn't want this video to just all be about talking and, you know, planning. So I'm gonna throw in a clip from our Memorial Day boating with JH to end off the video. Hope you guys enjoy it. All right, guys, so Justin, aka JH, who has brought over his boat he calls the Honey Hauler. And we're gonna test it out in the pond real quick, make sure it's seaworthy before he takes it off to the lake or the ocean. Real nice unit he's got here.
Hey, so you are JH diesel and 4x4, but this looks like neither of those.
JH diesel and 4x4 and boat.
This is a new venture and side-by-side log parts.
Oh yeah.
Dude, get that thing.
JH Marine.
This little thing was a little rusty over the years.
There's some wild dogs.
Decent cup holder you got here.
Got a little bit of water in there.
Yeah, it's working now.
That's a very old beer can with the Bucks flag on it.
I like to keep it, you know, classic, like the boat. It's a classic. Plugs. Look, we're gonna just send it with the plug halfway.
The plug's not working.
There you go.
Yeah, but we don't know if it's getting back. Hey, put your life vest on. Oh man. He can't drive anything slowly. Perfect. Oh, those are gonna jam into the ground. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh no.
He hasn't gotten that far yet.
I really wanted to get him in there before he backed out on the whole situation.
I mean, that definitely happened. This does not look good.
Oh, come on.
Thankfully, he's got Alec with him. Alec's a strong swimmer, right? Got speakers.
Our primary goal is to get him hyped up enough to shoot the Snake River Gap.
Look, he abandoned his battery. It's a bad decision.
Oh, here we go.
He's shedding weight.
Wow.
Oh. It stalled.
Oh no.
Oh, he's gonna crash.
Did she stall out? I'll fire right back up. Uh-oh.
She's not sounding as happy.
Well,
This is a problem.
I don't even know if it has fuel in it.
You got a paddle? You want some gas?
Hanger on the limiter. Oh yeah. Getting her up on plane. Just park it. Hit the gap. It's running solely off brake clean. Somebody's got to pull it out. Oh.
Well, damn. They did it! How did they think that?
They parked her. Alright, dude, we'll see you later.
Alex, you got a paddle. I thought I put it in two wheel, but apparently not. Alex, you got a paddle, dude. Yeah, no. Alright, everyone, we've come up with a plan. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fire this thing up. We got limited time, 1 can of brake clean. We're gonna shoot through the Snake River Gap. All quick 180 back through the Snake River Gap. Straight to the trailer. Okay?
Alright, why did you abandon Alec?
There's actually 4 cans of brake clean.
4 cans. Yeah, very old fuel, needs a tune-up, crashed it. They had this piece of wood there for a reason, I'm gonna guess.
Brother, that's a great boat.
Yeah, wow. We should do this again next weekend.
That's a nice boat.
He's a really nice unit. Let's get this thing running right. We're gonna call James on this one.
He is a big boat guy.
Big boat guy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real out here with JH Diesel Marine. And we'll see you next time.
I wouldn't call him for any marine questions.